now the Ravens can focus their attention again on something that they can't make happen, which is Lamar Jackson coming to the table to negotiate a contract. Lamar Jackson representing himself. Lamar Jackson not engaging with the Ravens in the 15 months since he became eligible for a second contract, entering the fifth year of his rookie contract. Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the team, addressed it yesterday. He said it's unique as hell. The kid is so obsessed with winning a Super Bowl that I think deep down he doesn't think he's worthy. I think he wants that to say, now I deserve to be on top. Unless he has a change of heart and he calls Eric DeCosta, GM of the team, and says, I'm ready. Eric can't keep calling him and saying, you really need to get in here. That's not a GM's job. I'm intrigued by the possibility that Lamar Jackson doesn't think he deserves a second contract until he wins a Super Bowl. Does he not realize that his second contract, number one, is deserved by the MVP trophy that he won?
Right.
And number two, at some point, his ability to win a Super Bowl is going to be impaired by his failure to do a contract that creates a cap situation that allows the Ravens to go out and get the players they need. At some point, you need to do it.
It's amazing.
If you want to win a Super Bowl.
It's amazing. We've never, this is the offseason of we've never seen this crap happen ever in the history of football. It's really unbelievable this offseason. It's one thing after another. And this, file this under it too. Wait. Team wants to give player a boatload of money. Player doesn't really give a damn and doesn't answer the phone. It's the oddest damn thing I've ever seen. I mean, yeah. It's a unique as hell, as the owner put it. I don't get it. I can see Lamar Jackson being that way, though. I could see him being that way.
It's a mistake if he is.
It is a mistake for sure. There's no doubt. I'm not trying to justify it, but there are those guys in the NFL who are humble. He expects a lot from himself. He's probably told people there, we're going to get the Super Bowl. I'm here to get the Super Bowl. I'm here. And he's probably has that pressure on himself a little bit. But yes, it's not the right. This is business here. And as much as maybe that personal feeling is in the way, it's just too risky, and that's where it's amazing. And you're right. The point is he's also hurting his own team because they can't figure out the salary cap and the things they want to do moving forward because they can't get this part of the situation corrected.
What he needs to do, and this is the advice I would give him if he were my son, brother, cousin, nephew, friend, client, I would say, Lamar, you need to set up meetings with 5 of the top quarterback agents, and it's not that hard to come up with a list of the top quarterback agents. Set up meeting with each of them and run your plan, whatever your plan is, whatever it is, whatever explains why you're doing what you're doing, or more accurately, why you're not doing what you're not doing. Explain to them why you're employing this strategy, get their feedback, maybe hire one of them or maybe not. They're not going to give you a bill. You're sitting down with them with the possibility you're going to hire them. You're going to get some free insight from them. And if all 5 of them tell you something similar as to what they think of your plan, maybe it's time to get a new plan. Because I don't see the logic in any of it, Chris.
No, there's no.
The idea that I don't want a contract until I get a Super Bowl, that's ludicrous, okay? The idea that I'm going to play out 7 years with the Ravens and then become, bless you, a free agent, that doesn't work for a guy who plays a very physical brand of football. You can't assume that you're going to make it through 3 more seasons and still have enough tread on the tire to go somewhere else. So that is an ill-advised approach if that's what he's trying to do. If it's as simple as, and I fear this is the explanation, and I hope it's not.
Right.
If it's as simple as, I don't want to pay an agent, I don't want to give an agent 3%, 2%, 1%, 0.5%, whatever the fee would be.
Yep.
That's a huge mistake because you're going to keep 100% of a hell of a lot less than 97, 98, or 99% of what an agent's going to get you. A hell of a lot less is what you're going to get on your own because you're already misplaying this, you're already hurting your leverage, and you're only taking the chance it's going to get worse. So this penny-wise, pound-foolish approach that some players have, I don't want an agent. Why? Because I don't want to pay him. But don't you understand? He's going to get you more than what you're going to get on your own, even if he takes a 3% or 2% or 1% piece of it. Don't you understand how that works?
Yeah.
Plenty of guys don't, and they refuse to understand it. It's like talking to a wall to get somebody to understand. Look, you can either keep, 97% of this big-ass pie, or 100% of this much smaller pie?
Yeah.
What would you rather have? Well, I want it all. No, no, you get more pie.
Right.
If the agent gets you a much better deal. And if an agent gives you advice that leads you to getting the deal when the window's open, the window's open now. And here's my concern for Lamar Jackson. At some point, the Ravens are going to get exasperated, and they're going to say, we're done, we're out. Who wants to trade for Lamar Jackson? And I have a feeling that happens after this season. Nothing to base it on, but at some point, you throw your hands in the air and say, we got to move on.
I don't disagree with that, And, to your point with the contract thing and stuff like that, first off, with Deshaun Watson, a player of that caliber, he could probably get an agent for 1%, 1.5%. He can. It is worth it. There's no doubt about that. You know what? The other thing, too, I want to say as Captain Obvious is hey, we're football players. You're a football player. You're definitely not a businessman. You're definitely not an expert in contracts. It's almost as crazy as, hey, why don't you let some agent go play football? As far as players doing contracts. I mean, it's to me almost that crazy. Maybe not quite as apples to apples there, but pretty apples to apples as far as talking in that way. So that makes no sense. It's not an area of expertise for Lamar Jackson or 99.9% of the players out there. And I think we can look at players who have done their own contracts too and look at them and go, well, there's been some issues with that where they weren't protected the right way. So we have evidence of that where the team won. They got over. They beat the player in an area that he's not very good at. So, duh. And then
100%.
Right. So then here's the other thing too, Mike. I mean, if the Ravens call Watson finally and DeCosta is like, all right, this is it. I'm calling one more time. We'll give you the Deshaun Watson contract. Oh. What do you think he signs that? Would he do that?
You take it and run with it.
I know. I mean, I would think there's a lot of contracts you take and run with it, but I wonder if that changes the game here too.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.